You are.
I have a friend who's one of the best high school baseball players in New York. He decided to go to the pros straight out of high school. He got drafted, however, he didn't last long. He went from playing in the majors to playing San baseball in a matter of just a couple years. Hi, my name is Soto, and I feel that high school athletes should attend college before going pro, therefore having a better chance of becoming successful. By the end of this persuasive speech, my audience should be convinced that high school athletes are better off going to college instead of straight to the pros. My first main point, high school athletes' chance of making it as a pro are very slim. High schoolers are simply just not ready. According to NCAA, only 1 in 16,000 high school athletes obtain a professional career in sports. Now, this is Giancarlo Rodriguez. He graduated from George Washington High School in 2008. He was ranked number 5 in NY and 343 in the nation. He was drafted by the Phillies 10th round 2008. 2010, they let him go. In the same year, the Angels picked him up. And then finally in 2011, he was released. Maybe if he would have went to college, it could have been a better chance of lasting longer, and he could have had something to fall back to. Now, this is a chart by the NCAA, and it's basically college versus high school percentage and making it to the pros. You see high school to college, college to pro, high school to pro, and then you see the different sports. So let's take a good look at basketball. About like 3% of males and females who play high school basketball end up going to college, and then about 1% of them end up turning pro. And then from 0.2 to 0.3% of high school who plays basketball end up going to the NBA or the NWNBA. That means out of every 10,000 high school players, only 2 or 3 are able to play professionally basketball. So we see how hard it is to make it as a pro, as a high school athlete. Now we can see the benefit of going to college. You have like a backup plan. According to Yahoo, 99.883% of high school athletes who participate in sports with major professional leagues will have to find other ways to make a living outside of sports. High school athletes that don't have success at the pro level will have to have a backup plan. Going to college helps you secure your future, and professional athletes' careers are often short-lived. Only the skills developed in the college curriculum can help former athletes succeed even after playing days are over. Now this is Jay Williams. He graduated from Duke with a sociology degree in 2002. He was one of the best college basketball players that same year. And then the same year he got drafted 2nd overall by Chicago Bulls. Then in June 19, 2003, he got into a severe motorcycle accident that basically ended his career. Now he currently works for ESPN as a basketball analyst. He got the job as a basketball analyst, but he can also pursue another career because of his degree. Not only do you secure your future when you go to college, but also for those who make it, they tend to be more prepared mentally and physically. According to ESPN Bleacher Report, high schoolers lack mental and physical maturity. Think about it. There's no one your age on the team, and no one can really understand what you go through. So you're basically born by yourself. Then there's as an 18 and 19, there's a lot of bad elements out there. There's money, women, drugs, and I don't think you're young enough to know the difference between real and fake. And then work ethic. As a young kid in high school, you usually don't realize how hard it is, how hard you have to work until you get there and you see there's bigger, stronger athletes in you. These are these are NBA players, these are baseball players, these are people who went straight from high school to the pros. I'm not saying that all athletes who come from college are perfect, but they are not more prepared. They are more prepared to not make these mistakes. There's Kwame Brown, who got drafted from George. He got drafted. Washington drafted him from high school. He's one of the best high school players. He rape accusation of a woman reported a rape against him, but the charges got later dropped. Then there was a cake incident where he was in the streets and he randomly hit a person with a cake by mistake, but nothing happened really after that. And then in 2000, he got arrested for what was it? He got arrested for disorderly conduct. And then there's J.R. Smith. He suspended 10 games for a brawl. that he got suspended 7 games after pleading guilty to a reckless driving charge. And then he was fined $25,000 for posting a picture of model Terry Jose. And then finally, Manny Ramirez missed several games due to sickness. But then that same day he said he was sick, he got caught in the bar. Then Ramirez was fined $10,000 to $15,000 for getting into an altercation with a traveling secretary. And then finally, Manny tested positive for a banned performance enhancing drug. Conclusion: even though this is currently not an issue, we need to keep. Even though it's currently not an issue, we need to keep promoting and stressing to high school athletes to go to college before entering the pros, so it won't become an issue. High school athletes are competing with hundreds of other high school students who are bigger, stronger, and faster. But the one thing that sets them apart is their character and their academics. And then finally, I have a little clip of a high school woman coach who stresses school. She thinks that school is important.
And finally tonight, Thanksgiving is about family and turkey, yes, but it's also about football, especially high school football. As teams around the country battle arch rivals.
Oh, Ricardo, I don't think we'll have time for this. You're already over 6 minutes.
Here you go.
There you go.